Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to cover the most annoying gem inside of Diablo Immortal. These gems are very good for PvP and not good for PvE because these gems do not increase your damage. What they do is they are going to annoy your opponent. So basically these gems are just for you to have fun, and by fun meaning you are going to be an absolute menace inside of battleground. When people see that someone is running one of these gems, they get annoyed, they get frustrated. Some even get some PTSD with this. They might get bad dreams, at night because people don't expect a lot of people to run some of these gems, and some of these effects are really annoying to deal with, and it can be very fun if you incorporate this in your gem setup. I'll be ranking these gems in a tier list so you can also get a picture of how effective these are inside of battlegrounds. Now I understand that free to play players might not have the luxury to switch around gems, but I'm going to show you 1 star, 2 star and 5 star, all the three options. And trust me, some of these 1 star and 2 star gems are also very good. And it is probably not good for whales because they need to carry the entire team. But if you are mid reso or low reso, these gems are actually can have an impact. So before I start, what do you need for these gems? What you need is good potency. Most of these gems basically do not work with like V2s, like their duration of the harmful effect is not extended by V2s, but by your potency or the green items, the set items like feasting barons, right? So if you're running that type of setup, potency high setup, these gems are going to fit even better, right? It is going to perform even better. So without wasting any more time, let's first start with the 1 star gems. So for the 1 star gem, I'm going to start with the one which is the latest one, and that is the Flatter Grasp. So Flatter Grasp is the latest 1 star gem, and what it does is basically when you use a critical hit chance, when you deal a critical hit damage, your enemy cannot use dash, and this has proven to be very effective, especially now that a lot of people have a lot of critical hit chance. So this dash preventing is very good, especially for classes against like demon hunters or tempest. They cannot dash, and these classes, a lot of classes use a dash these days. So disabling the dash of an enemy every 20 seconds is really nice, and this lasts for a very good amount of time as well. So I think Flatter Grasp in the current meta is really S tier. This is the latest 1 star gem, and it is one of the best ones for you to be annoying. Yeah. And similar to Flatter Grasp, we also have the Black Rose. Now, if you see the Black Rose at rank 10, it says whenever you are attacked, there will be the Black Rose is going to summon vines, and it is again going to make people immobilize. So preventing dash kills means they can still move, but this is immobilized. They cannot even move. So Black Rose has been a menace since the start of the game, and every time I see Black Rose, I'm like, oh my god, why is this gem present, right? It's so annoying. So yeah, Black Rose is also going to be S tier in my opinion, and it is just a 1 star gem, right? So for PvP, I think Black Rose and Flatter Grasp, these are very good. By the way, there are gems like Everlasting Torment that impart harmful effect, but these are not like hard CCs like Immobilize, Fear, Stuns, right? So I'm not covering Everlasting Torment, these types of gem, but these are also very good for 1 star. But yeah, these are not this topic of the discussion. But anyway, for 1 star, there is one more gem that I want to talk about, and that is Misery Elixir. Now, Misery Elixir itself does not do CC, but in any type of harmful effect build, I know there's an entire videos on harmful effects. I'll also link it in the top right corner. On any type of harmful effect, Misery Elixir goes really well. Even for dot builds, Misery Elixir goes well. So it is directly not going to impact, not going to CC the enemy, but it is going to increase the duration of the crowd control, and hence Misery Elixir is a special case. I do not want to put it in ABC in a tier list, but it is a special gem which you can incorporate in dot builds and harmful effects and CC types of based builds. So I just wanted to mention Misery Elixir and give it a shout out. Very impressive. And now guys, we move on to the 2 star category, and in the 2 star category again, I want to start with the one which is the most recent, the Crimson Behelit. Now the Crimson Behelit, the primary part of the gem, the primary boost of the gem, the primary effect of the gem is damage boost, and when you are below the health, then there is some damage reduction, right? but the secondary effect is fear. Now usually whenever the CC effect is on the secondary side, it is not very impactful. The fear at rank 10, I think it is 1.6 seconds. So the fear duration is not very long, but it is going to be triggered every 20 seconds and it is from your damage. So you can even fear enemy from a distance as well. So I think Crimson Behelit fear is good, but it is definitely not S tier, right? Not primarily a CC type of gem. And hence I'm going to put the Crimson Behelit in the A tier. It is good, but it is not, crazy good, right? So even in the A tier, not in the top A tier, like bottom A tier, like the bottom half. So yeah, this is going to be Crimson Behelit. Now the next 2-star gem that I want to cover is Cold Confidant. Now Cold Confidant is whenever you attack. Now Crimson Behelit does fear, but this one is going to create a pillar of ice at the enemy's location. So from a distance, you can chill the enemy. And this pillar of ice also has some health, 500% of your maximum life at rank 10. And basically the CC is the chill effect and it also does damage. So chill plus damage at the same time at the enemy's location. So I think this is very nice, but a lot of people don't use it because this is a bit of a niche gem. But I think this one definitely has potential. Especially if you are using some, especially if you're using, if you have high potency and using feasting balance, I think this is very, very nice effect to have. Definitely annoying when you see it in the battlegrounds. So Cold Confident is again going to be at A rank gem. Now the next one that I want to cover is Curseling. Now Curseling is basically a good gem, but it is for melee classes. Whenever you take a hit, you are going to blind the enemy. And I have used this Curseling at rank 10 and trust me, for melee classes, this is amazing. It is not so good for range classes. Yeah, so that's the problem for melee classes. For someone like Crusaders, Bard, even Monks, I'm going to highly recommend. In fact, this is one of my top CC gems, I'll say. But since it is not so recommended, not recommendable for range classes because they are usually in distance. So I usually think Curseling is suitable for melee. So for the melee classes, I think this is going to be S tier. For range classes, this is going to be A tier. But for now, I'm going to keep it in the S tier, right? For the melee classes, all 3-4 classes, it's very good. Probably for Druid also. Let's see how Druid works out. Anyway, the next gem I want to cover is Abiding Curse. This is basically going to reduce the enemy movement speed and attack speed. But what's so good about this is the duration. So at rank 10, this is 7.5 seconds. And with high potency, high barons, feasting barons and everything, Misery Elixir, this duration can be actually very, very long. And that's why I think Abiding Curse, once you get hit by Abiding Curse, you feel like a major debuff. And I see that a lot of wizards right now are using Abiding Curse along with Flatter Grasp. So I think this might come as a surprise, but I think I'm going to put Abiding Curse at S tier because the duration of, Abiding Curse is very, very long. Although I will say this has 15% chance to curse enemy. So 15% chance means the probability is low, but the duration is very, very high. So I think this is a bit debatable. I think it can be S tier or, since it is 15%, you can also say it as A tier, high A tier basically. This is going to be a high A tier in my opinion. But yeah, for some classes, this can be, even S tier. So anyway, the next one is going to be a special one I want to cover, and it is going to be annoying, but not for your opponents, but for your own team. Yes, guys, there is a gem in the game that actually annoys your own team, and that is Unity Crystal. So I don't know if the devs have fixed this or not. It's been a long time, and thankfully no one uses it. What it does is, whenever you're close to a party member, you're going to boost your damage and their damage by 1 point. They're going to boost their damage by 1.2%. So the boost is very, very low. But since you are close to a party member, whenever they kill any enemy, you will be counted as giving an assist, right? So I've seen in the past a lot of people use Unity Crystal and basically Unity Crystal, and they get the highest assist even though they didn't do anything. They were just standing there, they were just 6 yards away from you, and that's why they got the assist, right? The assist counts for them, and that's why this is very annoying to see in the battlegrounds. Yes, this is not for the opponent, this is for your own team. Do not use Unity Crystal. have some self-respect and do not use unity crystal, guys. And hence I'm going to delete this from the list. I don't even want to keep it in the list. It is very, very bad, and it's a bad practice to in fact use this gem. I don't know, I'm not, I hope they have fixed it, but I think they have not. Anyway, moving on to 5-star gems. The first one I want to cover in the 5-star gem is the Howler's Call. Howler's Call has a stun. Yes, a hard stun. But the thing is, your primary attack has a 10% chance to summon a wolf, and the wolf has a 48% chance to stun the enemy. So there's two layers. There's 10% chance and then there's a 48% chance. So the chance of stunning the enemy is not very often. It's not happening all the time. But this is very good for demon hunters, right? Because they use primary attack a lot, and maybe even for Tempest. But the stun happens not so much, right? It is good for damage maybe, but for stun is not happening a lot. So depending on Howler's Call for a stun, it's like a bonus that happens, but it's not something that I would depend on, right? So, and hence I'll put this in B tier. The next one that I want to cover is Frozen Heart. Frozen Heart is primarily a defensive gem, right? It basically, whenever you are attacked, you get a frigid shield. And basically when enemies attack more, if the attack, as long as the shield exists, they are going to get chilled. So depending on this gem to apply chill effect on your enemy, I don't think so it's viable. It happens, it's nice, but it's not the primary function, right? So the chill effect from Frozen Heart is the secondary effect, and it is not going to trigger a lot of time because the shield is going to expire very, very fast, especially in the current meta, right? And that's why the chill effect from Frozen Heart is not so good, and hence B tier. Next one I want to cover is the Starfire Shard, and this is by far one of the best CC rank 5 gems, because whenever you deal the damage and whenever you deal damage to an enemy, there's a 30% chance that you are going to rain meteorite in the area of the enemy and it is going to knock back, and the damage is also very, very nice. Like at rank 10 it is 500% base damage. So pretty big damage, pretty good knockback, pretty good chance of happening, and also there's a burning ground. So there are a lot of effects happening from Starfire Shard, and it is probably one of my favorite gem to CC the enemies, and hence this is going to be an S tier gem, guys. Starfire Shard is still one of the best gems for whales and everyone to for damage as well as for CC. I like the combination that Starfire Shard has, right? The next one that I want to cover is going to be something for, Spiteful Blood. Now you'll say Spiteful Blood does not, CC the enemy. So basically what it does is that whenever your health is below 50%, you are going to be immune to primary attacks. Now this can be annoying for classes like Demon Hunter and Tempest, or basically any class that is using primary attack as one of their primary source of damage. Not Tempest, actually Tempest has a lot of things in their arsenal, but something like for Demon Hunter, if you have Spiteful Blood, it really annoys them because it basically negates all their primary attack, and a lot of damage comes from primary attack for them. So yeah, it is not a top tier gem, and hence I'm going to put this in B, in fact B minus as well, right? So not exactly a harmful effect, not exactly a CC, but still annoying for one particular class. So I thought, why not include this? And now the last one that I want to cover is Maw of the Deep. Whenever you attack an enemy, there's going to be a whirlpool that pulls everyone at the center, and then there's going to be this water creature that comes out and knocks enemy up in the air. So pretty good, CC effect. And not only that, once the enemy is knocked, they take more damage from you. That's 24% at rank 10. So Maw of the Deep is like one of the best, one of the good ones. So and actually the damage is also not bad. It is like 450%. So slightly less than Starfire Shard. But the thing is, there is no percentage, like there's no chance of happening. Like Starfire is 30% chance. Maw of the Deep is definitely going to happen. And since it is also a rank 10 gem, it is also going to give you a lot of resonance and hence a lot of damage. So in a way, Maw of the Deep has very good values. But I'll tell you that knockups and knockbacks and these things, there are a lot of classes that do use anti knockback and anti CC effects. So keep in mind of those as well. Those things are also present to counter all of these gems. So yeah, this Maw of the Deep can also be countered, but yeah, a lot of these effects are basically in battlegrounds happen so many times that those counter effects or those the shields or the anti CC mechanism, a lot of time they fail, and it is really frustrating when they fail, right? So yeah, I think more of the deep, that's why is also, I think I can put this probably at S tier just because it is 5-star gem, lot of resonance, good damage, and also CC, right? So yeah guys, these are one of the top CC type of gems that's going to annoy the people. Obviously if you have 8 slots, out of 8 slots maybe 1 or 2 slots you can use for to incorporate one of these gems for CC. Definitely if you want, if you're low resonance, low spender, flatter grasp and black rose, these are actually very very good and very very effective. Flatter grasp especially if you have a critical hit chance based setup. Cursling is definitely if you are only for if you are basically top if you are a melee class. If you're not a melee class, I'll put this here, right? If you are melee class, I think it's very very good, pretty underrated actually. And Starfire is the best one, and the second best one in my opinion is more of the deep, right? So this is my basically list. And yeah, special mention to Misery Elixir, because it's going to increase the duration of harmful effects of some of these gems, right? So yeah, this is the the most annoying gems tier list. Keep in mind, I know if you are free to play, you don't have the luxury to switch out gems, but if you have some spare gems and you want to just have fun in PvP, annoy people, because that's fun, right? Annoying the people in PvP, I think that's my favorite part, right? And especially if you are mid reso and low reso, this actually this also comes as a surprise when in PvP, when you see someone like there's a cold confidant or a flatter grasp or the black rose. This also catches people off guard, it catches them, it surprises them, right? So this overall I think is a very nice thing to have in PvP. Not everything is all about damage. Damage is nice, getting kills and everything is nice, but being in PvP, CC is also very very nice. And currently I'm seeing that a lot of people are using CC based gems, and crowd control is making a comeback, and I'm here for it. I really cheer for crowd control. Let's go. It's a best weapon for the low spenders as well, to make an impact in the battlegrounds. So I hope you like this tier list. Basically through this tier list I wanted to discuss all of these gems, and I hope you got some good insights and good ideas which you can incorporate in your gem setup for crowd control. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.